Have you ever felt the sting of betrayal? The kind that cuts deeper than a knife, that shatters your trust and leaves you standing alone in the very place where you once felt safe. Have you ever poured your love, your loyalty, your sacrifice into someone only to be met with silence, rejection, and cruel deceit? Let me tell you something. With fire in my voice and truth in my soul, God saw it all. He saw the late nights you cried. He saw the moments you questioned your worth. He saw the days you forced yourself to smile while your heart was quietly breaking. And I'm here to declare with holy conviction, God will restore you in front of those who betrayed you. You may feel overlooked right now. You may feel cast aside, humiliated, abandoned. But God is not finished with you. He is not through writing your story. He has not forgotten your faithfulness. He has not overlooked your pain. Not in secret, not in hiding, but in the presence of those who betrayed you. You may not understand the silence now, but trust this silence from God never means absence. It means preparation. There are moments in life where God allows betrayal not to destroy you, but to reposition you. Sometimes the very people who turned against you were necessary for the turning point in your destiny. They were part of the process, not the promise. And while they may have walked away thinking they had the last word, thinking they had broken, you, God, was just getting started. Dishonor. He will bless you in front of those who cursed you. He will heal you openly in the presence of those who hoped you'd stay broken. Do not grow bitter. Do not seek revenge. Do not waste your energy trying to explain yourself to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. Let them laugh. Let them talk. Let them gossip. Let them point fingers. But while they're watching, God is working. He's building something in you that betrayal cannot break. He's planting seeds of glory in the soil of your suffering. He's using their lies to strengthen your truth. He's using their rejection to reveal your resilience. Don't you see? They thought they buried you, but they didn't know you were a seed. There is something holy about betrayal. It reveals what comfort cannot. It strips away the illusion and reveals the intention. And when people leave you in your lowest moment, God steps in to show you that His presence is the only one you ever truly needed. The arms of God are never folded in judgment when you've been wounded. They are wide open, waiting to hold you, to raise you, to cleanse you of the pain that people cannot see. Yes, they betrayed you. I tell you today, the very ones who betrayed you will one day have to witness your restoration. Not because you want revenge, not because you need validation, but because God always finishes what He starts. And when He begins a work in you, betrayal can delay it, but it cannot deny it. Those who thought they ended your story are about to witness a new chapter, one written by the hand of the Almighty Himself. God is the God of justice. And justice does not always come in the way we expect it. Sometimes justice is not a strike of lightning. Sometimes justice is elevation. When God raises you beyond what they thought you could ever become, that is justice. When God favors you despite their schemes, that is justice. When He blesses your name while they tried to stain it, that is justice. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to get even. You need to stay still and let God do what only He can do. Let them think you're finished. Let them celebrate your fall. But the next time they see you, they won't recognize you. Because God is about to dress you in glory. He's about to robe you in honor. He's about to restore you with a power that no betrayal can block. They may have taken your peace, but God is returning double. They may have tried to ruin your name, but God is raising your influence. They may have tried to shame you, but God is clothing you in strength. You are not done. You are being developed. Don't lose heart. Don't let bitterness take root in your soul. Don't rehearse the betrayal in your mind every night. Release it. Because the more you cling to the pain, the more you delay the promise. Give it to God. Every insult, every wound, every leap, put it in His hands. Because when God is your defender, you don't have to fight. You don't have to scream to be heard. You don't have to beg to be believed. God will vindicate you, not just spiritually, not just emotionally, but publicly. He's the God of restoration, not partial, not halfway, but full, overflowing, complete. That means not only will He heal your heart, but He will also lift your life. He will take you from forgotten to favored, from betrayed to blessed, from abandoned to anointed, and the ones who laughed at your downfall will have no choice but to watch your rise, because what God prepares in private, He reveals in public. The hidden work in your soul will soon shine through your life. The tears you sowed in silence are about to reap a harvest of joy. They meant it for evil. They meant it to break you. But God is using it to make you. They meant to silence you. But God is using it to strengthen your voice. They thought the betrayal would destroy you, but they didn't factor in God. And when God is in the equation, pain becomes purpose, suffering becomes strength, and rejection becomes redirection. Let them see you risen not in pride, but in the glory of God's redemption. You are not who they said you were. You are who God says you are. You are not the broken version they tried to leave behind. You are the refined version God is raising up. You are not the shame of the past. You are the testimony of His power. And when you walk into your new season, walk boldly, not to prove them wrong, but to prove that God is always right. He chooses the broken. He exalts the humble. He favors the rejected. He uses the betrayed. You may not see it now, but something divine is unfolding. God is rearranging things behind the scenes. He's aligning hearts. He's shifting atmospheres. He's opening doors that no betrayal can shut. And soon the very ones who betrayed you will say, "We didn't see this coming." That's because they forgot one thing: God was on your side. And when God is for you, no betrayal, no slander, no weapon formed against you can prosper. Your story is not over. It's just getting started. Do not curse your betrayal. Thank God for it. Because it revealed who is real and who is temporary. It revealed what was built on trust and what was built on convenience. It drew you closer to God than comfort ever could. Sometimes the betrayal is the blessing. Sometimes the hurt is the holy path. Sometimes the rejection is the rescue. Because God is more concerned with your destiny than your comfort. And if He had to let them walk away to wake you up, then praise Him for it. Every betrayal is a setup for a comeback. And not just any comeback, a comeback with power, a comeback with favor, a comeback with wisdom. You're not coming back the same, you're coming back stronger, sharper, wiser, and closer to God than ever before. Let the betrayal refine you, not define you. Let it shape you, not shatter you. Let it teach you, not torment you. Because your rise will be greater than your fall. And your comeback will speak louder than their betrayal ever could. The time is coming where God will lift the curtain and show the world what He was doing in you. The time is near when the tables will turn not by your hand, but by His. He will restore your name. He will restore your dignity. He will restore your peace. He will restore your strength. Not only that, He will do it in full view of those who wished to see you crumble. And it won't be to shame them. It will be to show them that when you walk with God, you will always rise again. They may have left you in a pit, but God will raise you to the palace. They may have thrown dirt on you, but God will cause flowers to bloom. They may have written you off, but God is rewriting your destiny. And those who watched your pain will witness your promotion. Those who caused your tears will see your triumph. Because no one can bury what God has chosen to breathe life into. No one can destroy what God has decided to bless. and no one can block the restoration that's coming upon you. And now hear me, if you've been broken by betrayal, if your name has been dragged through the mud by people who once called you family or friend, God has already written your comeback in the ink of divine justice. While the world stares at your wounds, God is clothing you in new armor. Not the armor of pride or vengeance, but the armor of peace, resilience, and unshakable purpose. God's restoration is not about replaying the pain, it's about rewriting your future. And when God restores, He doesn't give you back what was lost, He gives you back better. God sees what they said behind your back. God hears what they whispered in secret. He knows the traps they set, the false smiles they wore, the words they twisted. But He also knows your heart. He knows your silence wasn't weakness. He knows your kindness wasn't foolishness. He knows that your endurance when you could have retaliated is the very reason He is about to reward you in full. Do not mistake God's patience for forgetfulness. He keeps perfect record of every tear you shed, every injustice you endured, and every time you chose peace when you had the right to rage. This is where your strength is revealed, not in how you respond to betrayal, but in how you trust God to deal with it. And let me tell you, God never misses. He never fails to restore. He never lets the story end with your pain. If you stay close to Him, He will take what was meant for your destruction and turn it into the very foundation of your elevation. The same stones they threw to bring you down will become the platform God uses to raise you higher. There are people who left your life thinking they took something from you. They walked away thinking you'd never recover, but they don't know the power of the one you belong to. They don't understand that betrayal does not bury the faithful, it awakens them. And when God is your vindicator, you won't even have to speak. Your restoration will do the talking. Your peace will silence the critics. Your joy will confuse the enemy. Because when God restores, He restores with glory. Let them see your scars. Let them watch you shine. Because those scars aren't signs of weakness, they're proof that God healed you. They're reminders that what was meant to destroy you became the fire that refined you. You don't have to hide your past. You don't have to explain what happened. Just walk in your purpose. Just keep moving forward. Because God is using your story to display His power. Every betrayal that tried to bury you will become a testimony of how deeply God can restore. There's a reason God allows some people to walk away. There's a reason the betrayal came from someone close. Because God needed to show you that your destiny does not depend on who left, but on who stays. And God stays. He remains when others run. He strengthens when others shame. He lifts when others lie. So don't beg for the approval of the betrayer. Don't chase closure from people who were never meant to finish your story. God is your closure. God is your justice. God is your comeback. Some of you have been carrying the weight of betrayal for years. It hardened your trust. It bruised your spirit. But today, hear this. Truth God is not only able to restore what you lost, He is able to restore who you were before the pain. The softness in your heart, the purity in your intentions, the fire in your soul, God is bringing it all back, stronger and wiser. He's rebuilding you with deeper wisdom, higher vision, and greater strength. What you're becoming through the pain is far more powerful than who you were before it. The people who walked away did not walk away with your destiny. The ones who betrayed you did not take your anointing. Your purpose is not in their hands. Your future is held by the one who sees all, knows all, and restores all. And when God sets out to restore a person, He does it in such a way that even your enemies will have to acknowledge His hand on your life. They'll look at you and wonder how you survived. They'll look at you and ask how you didn't break, and you'll simply smile because you'll know it was God. There's a level of strength that only comes from being broken and rebuilt by God. It is a strength that no man can give you. It is a peace that cannot be purchased. It is a wisdom that no betrayal can erase. And if you hold on through the process, If you surrender every wound to God, you will rise not bitter but better, not angry but anchored, not vengeful but victorious. Because the hand of God does not merely restore, it glorifies, it reveals His power in your perseverance. And know this, God is not restoring you for the sake of your reputation. He's restoring you for the sake of His purpose. Your elevation is not just about proving people wrong, it's about proving that those who walk with God cannot be destroyed by betrayal. Your story is about to become a sermon. Your testimony is about to awaken faith in someone else. Because when God restores you, He makes you a lighthouse for others who are still walking through the storm. It is no coincidence that the betrayal hurt you so deeply. It was not random. It was strategic. Because what God has placed inside of you threatens the darkness in others. That's why they tried to dim your light. That's why they tried to isolate you. That's why they gossiped. But what they failed to realize is that the more they tried to bury you, the more God was preparing you to break through. You are rising, not in spite of the betrayal, but because of it. God is using it as fuel. So stop mourning what you lost and start preparing for what God is about to give. Stop looking back at who left and start looking ahead to who you're becoming. Stop replaying the betrayal and start rejoicing in the restoration. Because your weeping may have endured for a night, but your mourning is coming. And when it comes, the ones who once doubted you, dismissed you, and betrayed you will have to stand back and watch as God displays His goodness in your life. This is not the end of your story. This is the rising action. This is the chapter where you learn just how powerful it is to be held by God when everyone else lets go. This is the moment when your soul realizes that being betrayed by man is never the end, because you are backed by the Almighty. And He never loses. He never forgets. He never fails. He is preparing a restoration so undeniable, so glorious, that no mouth will be able to deny it and no heart will be able to ignore it. Let God work. Let Him finish what He started. Let Him restore you so completely that the very pain that once paralyzed you becomes your platform to speak life into others. Let Him raise you in front of the very people who buried you, not so you can say, "Look at me," but so the world will say, "Surely God was with them." And if you keep walking, if you keep trusting, if you keep believing even through the pain, you will live to see the day where everything they meant for evil turns to dust in the face of God's blessing. You will see the tables turn, you will see your name honored, you will see your peace returned, and you will see your strength renewed. Because betrayal is never the end for those who walk with God. It's only the beginning of something holy, something powerful, something that the world cannot take credit for. God will restore you, not someday, but soon. And when He does, He will do it in front of every eye that doubted, every heart that walked away, and every tongue that cursed you. Stay ready. Stay humble. Because restoration is on the way, and when it arrives, it will be undeniable. God is about to do something in your life that only He can do, and the world will witness the glory of it. Listen closely, because what I'm about to say is not just meant to inspire you, it is meant to awaken your spirit. Betrayal is not just a wound, it is a test. A test that reveals who truly holds your heart. A test that separates dependence on people from dependence on God. You see, when those you trusted most turn against you, when those you loved walk away without explanation, God is not punishing you. He is purifying you. He is burning away the illusion that your strength came from man. He is removing every crutch, every false comfort, every shaky foundation, so that you may stand firm on Him alone. And let me tell you something, when God strips you, it's because He's about to strengthen you. The world may have thought you were lost. It is about becoming who you were always meant to be. It's about God reshaping your soul, refining your purpose, and releasing you into a version of yourself that the betrayal was never meant to handle. This is why they left. This is why they turned on you. Because what God is preparing in you could not be carried in the presence of betrayal. He had to remove the noise so you could hear His voice. He had to expose the fake so He could surround you with the real. And as He restores you, understand this, God is not just trying to heal your wounds, He's trying to give your wounds meaning. He's trying to use your experience to raise your voice. He's trying to use your tears to water the seeds of compassion and wisdom in your soul. Because once you've been betrayed and restored by God, you carry something in your spirit that no school, no sermon, no book can give you. Carry the evidence of endurance, the mark of mercy, the fire of faith. And you become a vessel of hope for others who are still bleeding. That's why you can't quit. That's why you can't stay silent. That's why you can't let the betrayal harden your heart. Because God needs your story. He needs your scars. He needs your survival. He is not just restoring you for your sake. He is restoring you to become a voice, a light, a guide to others who are walking through the same valley you just came out of. This restoration is personal, but it is not private. What God does in you, He intends to shine through you. And soon hear this clearly, God will cause those who betrayed you to watch your rise with silent awe. Not because you demand their attention, but because God commands their respect. Your life will become a living testimony of how divine justice works. They may have slandered you, lied on you, turned people against you, but none of their efforts can stand against the will of God. When God chooses to lift someone, no opinion, no alliance, no conspiracy can stop that elevation. And when you rise, it will not be with bitterness, but with brilliance. It will not be with arrogance, but with authority. You will walk into rooms where you were once shamed, and you will be honored. You will receive calls from people who once ignored you, and this time you won't need them. You will return to places where your name was mocked, and they will be forced to acknowledge, this is the one God has restored. You won't have to say a word. Your peace will be your power. Your growth will be your proof. Your restoration will be your response. God never allows betrayal without purpose. He never permits pain without a plan. And the pain you endured was not random. It was preparing you for the restoration that requires a stronger version of you. And if you let Him finish the process, if you trust Him through the silence, He will reward you in ways that betrayal could never block. This is the justice of God, not revenge, but redemption. Not punishment, but promotion. Not retaliation, but restoration. And understand this, God's restoration is not given to prove people wrong. It's given to prove that walking with Him is always right. Your elevation is not meant to humiliate others, it's meant to glorify God. Your success is not a weapon, it's a witness. So wear it humbly. Walk in it with grace. Because the same God who watched you be betrayed in silence is the same God who will now raise you in majesty. And all of it will point back to Him. Do not chase the people who betrayed you. Do not seek closure from the mouths that slandered you. Let God handle it. Let God be your answer. Let God be your evidence. Let God be your light in the darkness they tried to throw you into. Because when it's all said and done, when the dust settles and the voices fall silent, only one voice matters, and that is the voice of God saying, well done, I have restored you. There is a sacred strength rising within you, forged in the fire of betrayal, and it did not come from the approval of people. It came from being crushed, ignored, and underestimated. And the world is about to see what happens when someone leans fully into God alone after being forsaken by those they trusted most. You see, betrayal strips away everything shallow. It leaves no room for pretending. It takes off the mask. But what betrayal also does, if you hand it over to God, is create space for something holy to grow. It makes room for a faith that cannot be shaken, a peace that cannot be bought, and a restoration that cannot be denied. Do not despise the silence that followed the betrayal. That silence is where God speaks the loudest. In that silence, God shows you who He really is, not just the God of blessings, but the God of rebuilding. Not just the God of comfort, but the God of transformation. God is not just mending your brokenness, He is extracting power from it. What once made you cry will soon become the very thing that gives you authority. You will speak from a place that only pain could open. You will lead with a depth that only loss could create. And you will love with a heart that knows what it means to be hurt and healed by the same hands, the hands of God. You may be wondering, why did God allow it? Why didn't He stop them from turning on me? The answer is not to punish you, but to prepare you. There are certain doors God will not let you walk through, carrying people who were never meant to go with you. Their presence would have polluted your purpose. Their loyalty was never rooted in truth. So God allowed the betrayal not to break you, but to separate you. And separation is often a sign that elevation is near. When God is about to raise you, He removes what cannot breathe in the altitude of your calling. And do not fear what you lost. What walked away was never greater than what God is sending. God never subtracts without a plan to multiply. He never removes without a plan to replace with better. The betrayal was painful, yes, but it was also prophetic. It revealed what you needed to see, not what you wanted to believe. And now, with clearer eyes and a purified heart, you are ready to receive what God had reserved for you all along. Let your enemies watch. Let the betrayers observe in silence, because soon they will witness a transformation they cannot explain. And they will be left wondering, how did this happen? The answer will not be your hustle. It will not be your charisma. It will not be your connections. The answer will be one name only: God. Because no one restores like God does. He doesn't just return what was taken. He adds favor to it. He adds strength to it. He adds purpose to it. And most of all, He makes sure that everyone sees it was His hand and not yours. You won't have to defend yourself. You won't have to argue or convince. The restoration will speak louder than any rumor. The peace you walk in will silence every tongue. The blessings flowing into your life will declare whose you are. And let me tell you something divine. God is not just going to restore your status. He's going to restore your soul. He's going to restore that hidden place within you that became tired, weary, and disappointed. He's going to breathe life into the areas of your heart that betrayal tried to kill. You will not just recover externally, you will be made whole on the inside. You'll start to smile again, not a forced smile, but a genuine, glowing, sacred joy. You'll laugh again, not to cover the pain, but because God has replaced it with purpose. You'll trust again, not blindly, but with discernment, because God has given you wisdom through the wounds. You will love again, not carelessly, but courageously, because God's restoration doesn't leave you bitter, it makes you better. And you must understand something vital. When God chooses to showcase His restoration, He does it in such a way that the stage belongs to Him. Yes, your enemies will see it. Yes, the betrayers will witness it, but the spotlight won't be on your pain, it will be on God's glory. The restoration will not be revenge, it will be revelation. A revelation of what it means to trust God when everything else falls apart. A revelation of what it means to survive betrayal and still rise with integrity. A revelation that those who place their hope in God will never be put to shame. You are not being restored to the same level you were before. No, God is elevating you beyond what was familiar. He is moving you into spaces where those who hurt you can no longer reach. He is preparing you for blessings they cannot interrupt. You see, when God steps in, He doesn't just fix the damage, He increases the capacity. He enlarges your territory. He multiplies your peace. He strengthens your voice. He stretches your spirit. You're not going back to who you were, you're stepping into who you were destined to be. And let me remind you of this truth. God is not restoring you based on how people treated you. He is restoring you based on how you remain faithful to Him. You didn't curse them when you could have. You didn't seek revenge when you were tempted. You didn't stop praying. You didn't let bitterness become your identity. That's why restoration is coming, not just because you were hurt, but because you honored God through the hurt. You didn't allow the betrayal to pull you out of alignment. And for that, God is about to reward you. This season will not end in defeat. It will not end in silence. It will not end in shame. It will end with a holy unveiling. God is about to remove the veil, the weight, the burden, and reveal the strength, the wisdom, and the beauty that was forming in your soul all along. And when He does, the restoration will be so complete, so breathtaking, so divine, that even the wounds of betrayal will bow in submission to the will of God. There will come a moment in your life, a divine moment, when the very ground that shook beneath your betrayal will become the stage of your restoration. Not by the hands of man, but by the sovereign hand of God. The same voice that spoke galaxies into existence is speaking over your situation now. Be still. I am working. Do you not know? Do you not perceive it? Even when it looks like nothing is changing, God is moving. He is rearranging circumstances. He is aligning opportunities. He is softening hearts. And all of it is preparing the way for your rise. But understand this with clarity. Restoration is not a return to the past. It is a revelation of what was always within you, now brought to the surface by fire. The betrayal was the heat, but the outcome is the purification of your purpose. The ones who betrayed you thought they were tearing you down, but in truth they were removing the barriers to your breakthrough. They thought they silenced you, but God was only turning the volume down on the noise so He could amplify His voice within you. Do not try to rebuild the broken bridges. Not all connections are meant to be repaired. Some must remain in ruins to remind you where God stepped in. Let God choose who stays. Let God decide who goes. Because not every person who walks with you in your early chapters is meant to witness your restoration. Some must watch from a distance so that they and you know it was never by their strength, but only by God's mercy. There's no betrayal so deep that God cannot raise you higher. There's no lie so damaging that God cannot restore your name. There's no abandonment so painful that God cannot fill the emptiness with His presence. And when He fills it completely. You won't be half-healed, you won't be pretending, you won't be faking joy. You will overflow with wisdom, with discernment, with calm strength, with quiet confidence, with the kind of peace that makes people say, something happened in their life and only God could have done it. Let them wonder, let them whisper, let them watch. Because God is not restoring you for applause, He is restoring you for purpose. You've been through the valley, and now He's placing you on a mountain, not so you can shout about your pain, but so you can declare His power. He will make your life a message, a movement, a miracle in motion. And all of it will point back to the one who never left you when others did, to the one who stood beside you when doors closed, to the one who knew the betrayal was part of your becoming. This is why you must not fight in your own strength. You must not return evil for evil. Do not waste your divine energy trying to prove yourself to people who already chose to misunderstand you. Let God be your defender. Let Him be your shield. Let Him be your vindication. For when He lifts you, no one can push you down. And when He restores you, no one can reverse it. It will be established, sealed, guarded by the authority of heaven. There's a holy weight to the restoration of God. It is not surface level. It is not for show. It is deep, authentic, and rooted in righteousness. When God restores you, He doesn't just give you opportunities, He gives you the character to carry them. He doesn't just open doors, He gives you the discernment to walk through the right ones. He doesn't just elevate your name, He purifies your motives. That's why the process hurts. That's why the waiting is long. Because God is not just changing your situation, He is changing you. And when the time comes, and it will come, your restoration will be undeniable. Even your enemies will have to admit, surely God has favored them, not because you fought back, not because you retaliated, but because you trusted the one who sees everything and forgets nothing. Your patience will be rewarded. Your silence will be honored. Your long nights will be answered, not with explanations, but with elevation. Do not despise your tears. Do not be ashamed of your scars. Those tears watered your next season. Those scars became the map to your future strength. Every tear you shed in secret was counted. Every heartbreak you endured in silence was recorded. And now, God is about to turn what was private into something public. Not to shame you, but to show the world what it looks like when someone walks faithfully through betrayal and comes out blessed on the other side. So, stand tall. Stand firm. Walk with dignity. Because the chapter of confusion is ending and the chapter of clarity is being written. The days of silence are behind you and the days of testimony are in front of you. What they tried to destroy, God has preserved. What they attempted to ruin, God has refined. What they threw away, God is now presenting with honor. You don't need validation from those who betrayed you. You don't need applause from the crowd. You need only the smile of your Creator. And when He smiles on you, He opens doors no man can shut. He raises voices no one can silence. He brings peace that surpasses understanding. And He restores in a way that not only blesses you, but causes others to believe. So keep walking, even when the path is quiet. Keep believing, even when the evidence is not visible. Restoration is not a rumor, it is a promise. And God never makes a promise He cannot keep. He has heard your cries. He has seen your humility. And He is preparing something so complete, so powerful, so unexplainable, that when it arrives, it will not make sense in human terms. It will only make sense through faith. And now, as the truth settles deep into your spirit, let this be written upon the walls of your heart. God will restore you, not in secret, but in the full light of day. Not just quietly within, but openly before those who questioned your worth, those who doubted your purpose, and those who betrayed your trust. When God restores, He does not whisper it, He proclaims it with power. He takes what was meant to shame you and turns it into a symbol of honor. He takes the very ground of your rejection and transforms it into holy ground, where only His mercy can explain the outcome. Let no man deceive you into believing that your story is over. You may feel weary, but you are not done. You may have been betrayed, but you are not broken. You may have lost people, opportunities, even pieces of yourself, but what remains is the most powerful thing of all: your faith in God. And that faith, tested through fire, refined through tears, will carry you into a restoration far beyond what you once imagined. Because when God restores, He does not bring you back to where you were. He propels you into something greater. Those who betrayed you may have succeeded in causing pain, but they failed to see the divine hand covering your life. They didn't realize that every accusation would become a stepping stone, that every delay would be a setup for something better, that every wound would become a vessel for glory, and that the very people who tried to erase your worth would one day witness the weight of God's favor on your life. Not because you sought revenge, but because you trusted the one who holds vengeance and mercy in perfect balance. You didn't need to clap back. You didn't need to scream your innocence. You didn't need to gather an army to defend your name. All you needed was to stand still and let God be God. He is not just watching, He is working. He is not just aware, He is aligning. And in the silence of your surrender, in the humility of your heart, God has been crafting your comeback. And when He unveils it, there will be no doubt. It won't be luck. It won't be chance. It won't be the work of man. It will be the undeniable signature of God. So walk forward with confidence, not in yourself, but in the one who restores beyond measure. Walk forward with peace, not because the pain didn't happen, but because it no longer